Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Solaire, their Type AB bass. So Solaire Guitars introduces a trio of strikingly finished bass models, 4 and 5 strings offering flashy matte colors, Solaire active pickups, and choice of either a roasted maple or ebony fretboards. Also, there is a roasted maple neck or a 5-piece neck, where your stereotypical maple walnut maple sandwich. Solaire Guitars, the brand founded by metalhead and YouTuber Ola England, has unveiled the latest additional basses of its lineup: matte finished AB 2.4, ON 2.4S, 2.5 GN. That's a 5-string, by the way. The 4 strings of the drop is headed by the 2AB models, which have arrived with a bold orange neon and matte finish. So both feature a alder body as well as a 34-inch scale length. Other universal specs include solar active pickups, black hardware, a fixed bridge, and onboard control circuit comprised of volume, balance, bass, treble, and parameters. We'll just go ahead and take a look at the back. So, nice belly cut, nice heel joint cut, nice roasted maple neck. It's hard to tell from this picture. We're going to go to their website too in a moment. But I believe this is a 3-piece neck, or at least a 2-piece neck. Because it looks like there's a piece here, and then it looks like there's another sliver here. Active electronics, 24 frets. However, while the orange features a 5-piece maple Jobito bolt-on neck with an ebony board, the silver comes equipped with a 3-piece roasted maple neck. Okay, so it's just hard to tell. So this is actually a 3-piece roasted maple neck. Both are topped with 24 jumbo frets, not stainless steel. Keep that in mind. In terms of price, the orange 4-string is more expensive of the pair, weighing in at $849, while the silver is $799, which doesn't really make sense. You would think the silver would be more expensive because roasting maple is more of an intensive process, and they are both multiple piece necks. However, I suppose ebony versus not ebony fretboard, the ebony might be, a premium. Same with the color. The orange might cost them more. Possibility there as well. So they are joined by a 5-string, which flashes an equally eye-catching neon green finish. It's essentially an expanded version of its orange sibling, meaning its features of the older body 5-piece neck bolt-on. Other appointments including the ebony board with the 24 jumbo frets, fixed bridge, and a 35-inch scale length. So I guess the 5-string has a slightly larger scale length. Possibly the orange might be also a slightly larger scale length. We'll take a look on the website. On the pickup department, Solaire active pickups once again make the cut and are at the mercy of volume, balance, bass, and treble knobs. It is unsurprising the most expensive model of the lot is available for $949. So there's the back of the green. I like these colors. I'm going to be honest. I do enjoy the 80s kind of neon colors, and they're going a different direction because these aren't going to be super shiny because they are a matte finish. So here's the lineup right here. Let's go ahead and start with the silver. This is my personal favorite of the 3. I love me a roasted maple neck. Let's see if it tells me the scale length. Okay, so 34 super jumbo, pretty much all the same specs that we went through. Dual action truss rod, which is always nice. And then if we go to the orange for an extra $50, you do get that maple board. I would have preferred a roasted maple neck with an ebony fretboard. I got no problem, ebony fretboard. This is also 34-inch scale length. And so maybe just the 5-string is the 35-inch scale length. Let's take a look here, wait for this to load. That might be the thumbnail right there, or I might do that as the thumbnail and mess with the image. But multiple piece necks are fun. That's a stereotypical Ibanez thing. They do that a lot as well. Gibson, not so much. Once in a while you'll see the older Gibsons, you'll see some 3-piece maple necks, but rarely do you see a 5-piece unless it's on like a Firebird or something. Oh, let's see. Okay, so just this one, you got an extra inch. The 5-string, you do have an extra inch, 24 frets, basically the same. Now, my biggest complaint with these is going to be for the price, first and foremost, and where they're made. So to my knowledge, all Solaire guitars are made in Indonesia. And you could consider it a premium brand to a certain extent, but in my opinion, and I think in many other musicians, guitarists' opinions, anything that's made in Indonesia is like the lowest tier. I know there are some, like I think it's either Steinberg or Strandberg, one of those two is made there, and they have higher end stuff, make it fancier because the labor laws are different as opposed to the U.S. But at the same time, my tiering system usually goes Indonesia's at the very bottom. Next we have China, then we have Korea, and then we have Mexico, and then Japan and USA are pretty par on par. It depends on the guitar you get, but that's typically how I go with the tier. I would say maybe USA is on top by like the tiniest bit. Japan is right there alongside, but in my opinion, every time I've got an Indonesian guitar, in retrospect, I've never spent $900, $800 on an Indonesian guitar before. More like $200 to $300. You think cheapy Squires, off-brand Strat style things. They have just been terrible. Like, I mean, you couldn't set them up properly. I think I had one with a broken truss rod, fretboard shrinkage galore. Basically the things are built out of glorified sawdust and glue. These don't seem to be the case, so these may be better. But at the same time, if we go over to our Squier website, now we still have active electronics in these things. So this is a contemporary Squier base. So they do only have this. You can either get this finish or white, which is kind of similar to their silver. Not exactly. Let's go back one over here. Yeah, this is like a whitish silver. So I guess we'll compare apples to apples here. But you still have a roasted maple neck. You have active electronics. You also have, that sculpted joint, the belly cut, the sculpted joint, which is nice. And this is $500. In retrospect, you do not get a roasted maple fretboard. You get Indian laurel, which is similar to rosewood. But at the price point, unless you're looking specifically for something, more metal, if you're just looking for a bass that has that roasted maple neck, they are different. It's not an A-B comparison, but $300, do you really need 24 frets in a bass? I don't know many bass players that are playing that high up the scale. This thing has, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This has 20 frets. So if you really need 24 frets, maybe that's what you want. If you really want to make it look super metal, maybe that's what you want. Or, obviously, if you want the ebony board. But Squier offers, in my opinion, decent basses that are not anywhere near $1,000. I mean, as I said, in my opinion, this, just comparing it to something like this that has similar specs, I understand it's not exactly the same. It's not going to have, extremely fancy things. Body material is Poblar. Let's see what they're making these out of. I think that this might be a different wood. I'm pretty confident this is a different wood. Let's see. Body material is alder. Okay, alder is a better wood. So that is something, they're going to have better woods. This is a glossy finish. Active electronics. Let's see if it says anything about roasted C, Indian laurel, graphite, purloid. It doesn't really fret size, narrow, tall. So they're not super jumbo. They're probably more the medium size. But I wish I had these to A-B compare. Because in all honesty, something made in Indonesia, I'm not spending anywhere near $1,000 on that. I don't care what the brand is, how popular that guitar is. I pretty much refuse to... And maybe that's kind of like my boomer mindset to a certain extent. Technically, I'm not a boomer, but I still think Indonesia as the lowest of the low class. So until I get something in my hand that changes my mind, I mean, Korea has excellent guitars. China has excellent guitars. Two terrible guitars, depending on where you're getting them. But that ultimately comes down to, that is what I think it is. I don't think this is worth anywhere near $800. I don't see a lot of people needing 24 frets. If you want a roasted maple neck, go buy a $500 Squier. If you really need that metal look, if you really need those 24 frets, and you got the extra cash, by all means, spend the $800, go get this guitar. But I wouldn't recommend this at this point in time. Not without looking into it more. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a little video of him playing it. It sounds fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But just from a price standpoint, I think they're $200 too high. If this was like a $100 difference, like if they were selling them for $600, by all means. But no, you're talking about a $300 to $400 difference, and it's just too much. I'll just leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.